Have you had to change some of your smart devices just because you're a toddler?
Not really. The desk is the only one that I've really had to change. We're pretty lucky in that she's not. We haven't had to put baby gates up. She's not very self-righteous about that. Like she's pretty. Like if we tell her don't do something, she generally stays away. Mm-hmm. I have made an unconscious effort to just make sure that all battery sensors are above reaching height, just so she doesn't pull them down and get a button cell battery in her mouth. Not that she would put that in her mouth, but I just couldn't live with myself if that somehow did happen.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise, if anything, the automations have been good in that at one point we were trying to get her to sleep by herself in a bed, and she would come down in the middle of the night and she would get scared in the dark. But because she was tall enough to activate the motion sensors, she would get out of her bed, get out of her room, get into the hallway. The hallway would then turn the lights on for her, which then gave her the confidence to come down into our bedroom and say, "Hey, I'm here. I need you." Right.
That's really nice.
So
do you? Sorry. When she gets older, are you gonna? I've always had the fear that, like, if I were to have kids and I would have all the automatic lights, that they would get used to the fact that they wouldn't have to flip light switches, and then they go into someone else's house and they just expect lights to turn on. They walk into a room and stuff like that. And I mean, at a certain point, do you expect yourself to start disabling some automation so that they have some sort of? I don't know if you have anything in there that's.
No. To be honest, and maybe this is just my arrogance. I don't think that I should disable those automation. Like, we have our house. Like, this is our house. This is her house. We shouldn't have to sacrifice our house for her to fit into the world. Like, we've created a world for her in this house.
That's a great point.
And that's the way our house works. Yeah, I know, right? She will, like, she's not going to be 20 and be like, oh my God, like, you have light switches, right? Like, I don't foresee her that in her future. We won't raise her like that. But
fast forward 18 years.
To that point, though, what will the technology be like in 18 years? Perhaps we are on, just the bleeding edge of how homes will be by the time she's, that age, right? And I certainly see that in some trends in terms of, like, new house designs. A lot of houses, like, when you go to, they're selling, the smart home package, right? And I think smart home technology is still very early days. And I think the light switch, in its old form of, just on off, is on its way out. Even, if you try and buy a light switch today, like, it's generally got a dimmer module attached to it, or, it's capable of something, right? So I think eventually we will see the technology that we're using in our smart homes today probably becoming the norm.
That's awesome. Yeah, I hope so. That would be amazing. I hope that the open source world gets a little bit more, I want to say, like, popular or, like, user friendly, but, like, you think if everyone starts moving towards that, then it would be a lot more support. The community grows and then it gets way easier to use. So in a perfect world, right?